Hi, it's Grandma Roseanne, and I'm glad you're here because we're going to make something simple and simply delicious. We're going to make mushrooms and onions. And this is a dish that it comes together so nicely and so quickly, but it's a wonderful addition to a steak or any kind of meat that you're having. For this to go over it is just beautiful. So what I have done is I have got one large onion, cut it in half, take the rest of the skin off of it, and I'm just going to cut it in slices. Just like that. There. And I want kind of nice long slices, so I'm going to cut it like this. Kind of thin, doesn't have to be thick. Now, when I make this, I usually make quite a bit of it. So this is a very large onion, and I have 27, 28 ounces of mushrooms in here that I have already prepared. And the way you prepare the mushrooms is please never wash them. They should never go underwater. Just take a rag like I did, and you just wipe them off to get that gunky stuff off of them. That's all you have to do. And then I have sliced them. I did remove the stem, so I'll show you that. Right here, you don't want that because it's tough. Just cut it out, just break it out. And then just slice it like this. Throw it in. And when I have mushrooms, oftentimes I do this because I have bought mushrooms with the intention of making mushroom soup, and I don't do it. Or I have, maybe I'm thinking of having canapes because I'm having company for dinner, and I'm going to do stuffed mushrooms, and then I don't get around to it, and then all of a sudden it's yikes, I got to do something with these mushrooms or I'm going to lose them. So this is what I do with them, and then I freeze them. I just freeze them. Put them in some vacuum sealed packages, freeze them, and then when we have a steak or we have maybe a baked chicken, then I'll pull it out and just pop it in either the microwave or on the stove top and just let it defrost, and all those beautiful flavors come back. So what I have over here in my skillet, I have 1 cube of butter, which I'm just going to melt down. And then another important ingredient is wine. Now I'm using a Chardonnay here. It's a Barefoot Chardonnay, which is a really good Chardonnay actually. So I'm going to use this. Now if you want to use a vermouth, you can use that too, and you're only using just a little bit. So don't be concerned about alcohol going in there because it's going to burn off anyway. All you're going to have is the flavor of it. Cut this up a little bit so we're not here for a month of Sundays waiting for it to. What happens here, once we put this in, once the mushrooms start cooking, they're going to release a lot of liquid. So we're going to let that liquid come out. And then what we're going to do is allow it to cook until all the liquid evaporates. Then you have got the most succulent, beautifully flavored mushrooms. The only seasoning that I put in is salt and pepper. Now, obviously, if you are more adventurous and you want to add other herbs to it, I'm sure it'd be perfectly fine. I just have never really done that, so I kind of stick with my salt and pepper because I just like the whole taste of them. And I've got this on a medium-high heat, okay? Dump them all in. Break them all up, dump them all in. There. Now we want some salt. I would say probably a teaspoon, and probably a half a teaspoon of pepper. Just about do it. Then we want to be sure that everything is coated with that butter. Now, depending on the moisture of these particular mushrooms, I may even put more butter in if I feel it needs it. I'm not afraid to use butter, you guys. I'm just not. It's so good. Alrighty. So I will let this cook down a bit before I put the wine in. All right, like that. All right, will you take a look at these? See how they're reducing so nicely? And that liquid is starting to come out. Do you see how much liquid is in there? We're going to be getting rid of all of that. But now is the time to add some wine or some vermouth, whatever it is you're using. Let me get a measuring cup, simply because I never measure, but I think you like it when you have a measurement. So let me start with about a half a cup and see if that feels about right. And it does. So about a half a cup. We will let all of that absorb back in to these beautiful mushrooms and onions. And then I will show you when we're getting close to having a finished product here. Okay, I'll be back. Do you see how they're drying out? You see how we have almost nothing in there for moisture? Now we're just going to turn the heat down even more and let them just slowly continue to cook here. They're very flavorful, you guys. Really flavorful. I think you'll enjoy them. If you like mushrooms and you like onions, there is nothing about this dish that you will not like. All right, a few more minutes. We've completed our project, and I'm here to tell you we have a success on our hands. It is absolutely delicious. So I'm going to let this cool down for a second, and then I'm going to come back and take a taste of it. But then I'm going to show you how really beautiful it presents. Okay, so give me a minute. Just dig right in, grab myself a mushroom, which is done and cooked to perfection. There are no words. That is so good. There are no words. But let me show you what I would actually do with this. We have a beautifully prepared steak here with some roasted garlic. I would take this and just top that steak. Now, how does that look? Because I'm here to tell you it will be fantastic. So I will take a complete taste of this. A little bit of steak. Little bit of mushroom, little bit of onion. There. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So good. As I said, there's quite a bit in here, so I'm just going to portion this out for my husband and I, of what we would want over a steak, over a piece of grilled chicken, and I'm going to freeze it. So it's very easy, you guys. Making quality food is not difficult. It really isn't. It's not difficult at all. It's really just about understanding the process and enjoying it. That's the main thing, enjoying it. I hate it when I hear people say, oh, I hate to cook. I don't like to cook. But then as you talk to them a little bit more, they've been working for 8 or 10 hours. They're in rush hour traffic. They get home, they're tired. They've got kids screaming because they're hungry and they want food. And who can enjoy that, you know? So if you're able to do things like this and get them ahead, prepared ahead, anything that you do like that really, I believe, lessens the stress that you feel at the end of the day. So many times, like for my husband and I, our kids are grown, you know, they're long grown. And we have grandchildren, which are just fun. But I want to enjoy this, and there's days I don't want to cook. I don't. So I go to my pantry because I figured out how to can, and I'll pull something out, we'll open it. It's just like it came straight out of that oven. Or I'll pull it out of the freezer like this. So quality food is not difficult. It takes a little of a learning curve, but once you have the curve, you guys, the rest of it is super simple, easy, and your family will love it, your friends will think you're fantastic, and you will be fantastic. So, subscribe, come back, enjoy time in my kitchen with me, because I really love having you guys here. And leave me a comment. let me know how you enjoy this and what you're going to use it for. Okay? So thank you, thumbs up, hit the bell, come back. Bye.